Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm CC Sourdough and I post sourdough content all about tips, tricks, and tutorials. Today I'm going to be doing a full-on tutorial video about how to make sourdough bread. So let's get into it. Okay, so first you're going to need a scale. You're going to need sourdough starter, water, and flour. I have all that ready. I recommend bread flour. Use bread flour. And then you're going to need a large bowl. Okay, first you're gonna add 100 grams of active sourdough starter. So I'm gonna pour mine in. Make sure that your sourdough is active. So at least make it after like 12-ish hours or 24. Okay, so that's about 100 grams. Okay, the next step is to add 350 grams of lukewarm water. So here's my water. And you want 350 grams. Alright, that's 350 grams. Okay. So next you're gonna mix your water and sourdough starter together, and it's gonna be fully combined. So it's gonna kind of look like really weird water. So it should kind of look like this. It's like yellow water. So continue stirring till you don't see any sourdough starter. So the next step is to add 500 grams of bread flour. Ooh. Okay, so I need more flour, but so add 500 grams of bread flour. You guys, once you've added your flour, you're gonna add 12 grams of sea salt. It really doesn't matter what type of salt. I like sea salt because I think it gives it a nice taste. Okay, and then do that until you have 9 grams. Okay, once you've added your salt and flour, you're gonna mix it together until you form a nice dough. You can always use your hands also if the dough isn't coming together. So your dough should probably look like this, and then once you're done mixing, you're gonna put a damp towel over it and let it rest for 30 minutes. Okay, so mine has rested for 30 minutes, and now you're gonna do something called the stretch and fold. So you're gonna grab a corner of the dough and pull it into the center. It's okay if it's sticky. And then you're gonna do that with all 4 corners of like the circle. I don't know really how to explain that. You're gonna pull it and then pull it into the center. And then you're gonna repeat that like 4 to 5 times. So once you've done your stretches and folds, you're gonna cover your bread with a damp towel, and then you're gonna let it rest for 30 more minutes. In total, you should do this process like 4 times. So this step should take 2 hours, and I will see you once this step is done. Once you've done your stretches and folds, you're gonna put your dough into a clear bowl like where mine is, and then you're gonna cover it up with a fresh towel and let it rest for 6 hours. And after that, we will do the next step. Okay, so once your sourdough has done the bulk fermentation, it should have doubled its size and it'll be like really jiggly. So you're gonna grab a tray or just on your counter, a lightly floured surface, and then you're gonna put your dough onto the tray. Okay. Mine came out super easily. Yay! Okay. Okay. Next, you're gonna flatten it out till it's like a rectangular pizza dough. Oh my gosh. Okay, once you've done that, it shouldn't have to be super thick. We're gonna grab like this part, like a third of the dough, okay? And then you're gonna press it into the center. Press down. Okay, and then you're gonna do it on the other side. So you're gonna go a third of the dough and then press it in. So it should look like this. Next, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more flour. And then you're gonna roll it. Okay. So it should I call this a cinnamon roll. I think it looks a lot like a cinnamon roll or croissant. So next you're gonna turn this around. You're gonna pull it towards the center like this, and then pull it towards you. So cup your hands like this under. You're gonna pull it. Then you're gonna do that a couple of times, not like 10 times, but you should do it maybe at least 5 times. And once you've finished doing this a couple of times, you're gonna cover this with a towel and let it rest seam side up. So this is your seam right here. And you're gonna let it rest seam side up for 5 minutes, and then repeat the process again. Once you've done your stretch and fold, you're gonna put your dough, mine is impeccably sticky, so this may take a couple of tries. You're gonna put into your screwing basket. Okay. You're gonna put it into your screwing basket, seam side up. So seam side up, and then you're gonna pinch the seam a little bit. And so typically you can let this sit for an hour or up to 5 days. The longer you put it in the fridge, the sour it's gonna taste. I'm going to be doing mine overnight because it is late, but I will see you in the morning. Okay guys, it's currently the afternoon and I'm ready to bake my bread. So I'm gonna put my silicone mat over the screwing basket, and then I'm gonna flip it over. Okay, that worked. And then I'm gonna use my screwing tool. Okay. And I don't really know what to carve today. I think I'm gonna do zigzags, possibly. I think so. Okay, then boop, boop, boop. Okay, looks good. Okay, next I'm gonna put the bread into my Dutch oven. Okay, and then I'm gonna close the lid, please. Okay, I'm gonna put the lid over and shut it. Into the oven. Okay, I'm gonna set the degrees to 450, and all I gotta do is wait till it's done. So I'm gonna be letting the bread cook for 15 minutes with the lid on, and then when the 15 minutes is up, I'm gonna take the lid off and cook it for another 10 minutes. I'll see you when it's cooked. Okay, so I took the lid off and I let it cook for another 10 minutes, and I think it's ready. Okay, so next I'm going to carry the bread out of the Dutch oven and into the cooling rack. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below, but thank you so much for watching. Bye!